Hello everybody, Rox here. Thank you again for tuning into the channel. If you like what I do, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all the usual stuff, and we're going to jump straight into this video. So, as you know, this is primarily an airsoft channel. However, I do also shoot real guns on the side as another hobby. And we are going to be talking today about a shooting competition that I am going to be taking part in. It's called Winter Brutality 2023. It's up in Prince George, which is about 10 hours away from here. It's going to be much colder than here, even though I do live in Canada. I live in a fairly mild part of the country. And yeah, so I'm going to be talking about my kit and what I'm going to be bringing, kind of what I expect to see. And as this is my first shooting competition, I would be totally interested in hearing your thoughts on what you see here. Have you done a competition like this before? What have you brought to it? What would you suggest I bring? Anything like that? So yeah, we'll start talking about what we see. So this is an overview here of what the entire kit is going to look like. We're going to go into detail for each one shortly. You might have seen me running some of this kit before in some of my other videos, but it's going to be tuned a little to focus more for the cold weather environment I'm going to be in. The weather that we can expect up in Prince George is hopefully going to be around 0. Looking at previous weather forecasts from this weekend in years, that's what it should be. But I am also preparing for an extreme case of much lower temperatures. I know that in the dead of winter up there, it can get to -20, -30. So hopefully not for that, for comfort's sake. But yeah, that's what we're going to be starting with. So because the division that I'm running in is going to be the Armoured PCC division, that means I have to carry a certain amount of gear on me that is required just to add weight and complexity to the event, but not like necessarily adding to me as a competitor. So some of those things include a medical kit with a tourniquet, or a flashlight and a knife with a certain length blade, and we'll get to those when we get to those and what those are going to look like and how I've integrated them into my kit. Looking at boots, these are my usual Under Armour boots. I wear them basically every day. I go airsofting. They are water resistant to some extent. I suspect that they are going to be sufficient for the snow, if there is any, but hopefully there will not. If there is going to be looking like snow, I'm going to be changing the boot choice to something a little more waterproof, or even just put gaiters on these ones, because the lower half of them is quite protected. But I think gaiters will be good enough. For the pants, I'm running a set of UF Pro in multicam. These are the same pants as my UF Pro in Ranger Green. These are really high quality pants. I recommend everyone take a look at UF Pro if you're looking for gear. And you don't want to spend the money you do on Cry, but you want something that is arguably better. For the top, we're going to be running a generic fleece upper. This is larger than I would normally wear. I think this is an XL, but it is to account for putting extra layers underneath as well as fitting gear and stuff under it, like my belt and harness system. As a base layer, we have 2 pairs of thermal long johns, upper and lower. These will be traded for something warmer, or maybe done away with altogether depending on the weather. But I mean, I don't want to take any chances, so we're going with something nice. If it's really cold, we're going to put on another layer, like maybe another wool layer between the fleece and the undergarments. Hopefully we won't get to that point. If it looks like it's going to rain, I'm going to be switching out this for a waterproof soft shell, but again, hopefully we don't get there. We also have 2 choices of balaclavas depending on temperature. If it's freezing, we're going to wear the thick one. If it's somewhere where I expect, we're going to wear the light one. If it's beautiful, balmy spring weather, then we're not going to wear one at all. For my first line, we are going to be running an HSGI belt in multicam. This belt is really comfy. I just got it this last Black Friday and have been testing out in airsoft games and just at the range. Really nice. It's the HSGI padded belt. I have the suspension system here, as well as a Safariland holster, a HSGI multi-purpose pouch. I think they advertise this one as a canteen pouch, but I just like how rigid it is for a variety of other applications. A dump pouch and a kind of like mid-rise HSGI leg platform. Now, because I am in the PCC division, we're going to be getting to my rifle in a bit here, but it means all of my magazines are going to be exactly the same between my handgun, Glock 34, and the rifle, which is Ruger PC carbine. So all of my magazines are going to be the same, and that's going to change how you would run something like this compared to a standard 5.56 or 2.23 rifle setup. Out of everything I have set up here, this section has not been 100% confirmed yet. This is going to be where my easily accessible first line gear is going to be kept. I'm going to be adding 2 more pistol mag pouches there, and I'm going to be reconfiguring what's on the drop leg. Right now, I just have a few like 308 sized magazine pouches, so you can say hello to Pepper. A few 308 magazine sized pouches, as well as these kind of floppy pouches here. I'm not really happy with that. After practicing with it, I think I'm going to be switching. I'm just going to be running more utility pouches here and keeping all of my magazines on the top. I'm going to be doing away with the 308 pouches altogether. I'm aiming towards either the newer Haley Strategic pistol magazines or HSGI tacos. And I'll probably do 2 stacked on each other there, and keeping the lower part here as, again, utility. If you've seen my other video where I talk about my airsoft gear, I have something very similar set up, so it's more of a it's a familiarity thing, even though it is a different belt. This one is just going to be, and yeah, I keep all of the, like my multi-tool and spotting scope and a few other things on the pouch, and we're going to be trying to keep similar to that. So as you see it here, this is not going to be the same. I've got these gloves. They're just a generic pair of gloves. They're pretty comfy. I just got them off Amazon. Pretty cheap, pretty good. Inside here, that is a HSGI Rigger's belt. Talking about second line gear next, this is going to be the Direct Action Spitfire Mark II. I've talked about this plate carrier in depth already on my Airsoft Loadout 2022 video, so if you want more information on it, you can go check it out there. The key difference is I have replaced the Haley Strategic front panel with a generic SMG panel that I just had kicking around, and I've stuffed some foam inside these to give it a little bit more rigidity so that it will take Glock magazines and they won't sink all the way down to ease of access. I'm going to tighten these up a little bit to retain them a bit more. But yeah, so set up for pistol mags. This is just, I think it's a Condor, just a generic extra dangler that I had kicking around. This is where I'm going to keep all of my admin supplies. I know we are required to have some stuff like a pen and a flashlight and everything. That's all going to go in there. One of the other things that we are required, as I said before, is a tourniquet. This is just a fake airsoft tourniquet. I'm not trained to use a real tourniquet, but we are required to have a real tourniquet on our kit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting a real tourniquet and mounting it here on the front through this loop segment. Radio. There's never going to be a point in the competition where I need a radio. However, it's on there to add weight. One of the things that they talk about with this in the rules is that there does have to be a certain level of weight throughout the whole event that I have to have on me. So again, regardless of whether or not it's something I'm using, I do need to be weighed down to add to the challenge. I do have 2 10-pound plates inside the carrier to simulate real plates. So it's going to be heavy, it's going to be tough, but I think it should be pretty fun. Talking about headgear, this is all dependent, again, on weather. If it looks like it's going to be a little warmer, we're going to be sticking with the black cap, and if it's cooler, we're going to be running the Team Wendy. Regardless, it's going to have the Swordens as the ear protection on there. Shooting real guns need to have ear protection. It only makes sense. For eye protection, we're going to be running the Oakley M-frames. Finally, what everyone's excited about, we get to talk about the firearm that I'm using for the competition. This is a Ruger PC9. I've had this for a little while now. Pretty fun gun to shoot. Really easy to shoot. Internally, I've done a few modifications. I've added some some pads. There's a company called Tandem Cross, who I actually purchased a whole suite of enhancements from, just to kind of make the gun run a little smoother, have a little bit more longevity. They also produce this chassis here. So compared to the standard Ruger, which is more of like a traditional rifle stock, I guess you would say, this looks more like a fighting carbine. We're gonna go start from the back over the front. Magpul MOE CTR stock, Tandem Cross chassis, Tandem Cross hex grip, we have a Vector Optics magnifier and a SIG Romeo 5 red dot. Now, one of the things in the division that I'm in the Armored division, we're allowed to have any gear we want. We're not restricted on optics or anything like that, so that's kind of why I'm running it this way. As well, any additional attachments I want, I can keep, but I have to put them in my backpack, and I can take them off in between stages. So if I find that I'm not using this, or it's a short range stage, I can remove the magnifier just to keep it out of my way completely. One of the things I'm thinking about doing this for too is a bipod. I know this is only a 9mm rifle, but having a bipod for some stability on some of the long range, I think we're going to be reaching out to 250 yards. To stabilize in prone will be nice, and again, that's something I can use. I just keep it in my backpack. We have Magpul grip, Magpul panels, and we're going to be running a Phoenix TK25. This is the IR version. There's no night vision component to the. There's no night vision component to this competition, but this does IR if I wanted to. I've also added this 9mm brake. I forget who makes this one, but it honestly makes the gun shoot way flatter than it should. It's crazy how little recoil it has when you just add something as simple as a brake. So, talking about sidearm now. This is a Glock 34. Now, the Glock 34 I'm holding here, this is actually an airsoft one. However, my Glock 34 is locked up currently in the safe. I have it taken out. Don't really need to at this point. Here in Canada, we do have a little more restrictions what we can and can't do with our firearms. So it is what it is. But my Glock is locked up right now. The advantage of a Glock and this PC carbine is they all take the same mags. So my plan for the magazines is to have one in the rifle at the start of the stage, one in the handgun at the start of the stage, 4 here on the first line belt, and 4 on the second line in the PC. Give me 10 total mags at 10 rounds each. Again, talking about Canada, we are limited to 10 rounds in all of our in our handguns, so it is what it is. I got to deal with what I got to deal with. So if I had an option, I would rather run 33 round Glock magazines, but again, it is what it is. We can't do that. Finally, we have a few things here. This is going to be the backpack. I've shown you this backpack in another video before. It's an Israeli backpack, general purpose. It's going to have, I have to carry at least 1 liter of water on me. This adds to the weight that is required for the match, but that's good because it means I can carry less of other stuff. So this is going to carry water, and it's also going to carry any additional accessories such as a med kit and flashlight and a few other things that I'm just supposed to have. So again, that's the gist of it. There's a few other things that I'm also considering bringing. I'm going to have a rain poncho for standing around between matches, or sorry, between stages. That'll just be important to make sure that, you know, morale is kept up. Food and snacks, whatever, that's all going to get stored in the backpack. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good starting kit? Have you ran one of these competitions before? If you have, what did you think of it? What do you think I can improve on? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will say hello to Pepper again. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. I do have some more airsoft content coming out soon, some gameplay from the last few weeks, as well as you can expect when this competition is done at the beginning of March. I will have GoPro footage of that as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to stick around. I hope to see you in the next one. Again, if you like what I do, like, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, and have a great day. Bye.